I don't like romance anime. Yes, you heard that right. Even though I'm not a fan of this genre, I'm going to rank the 15 best romance anime that I actually enjoyed. I didn't watch every single one from start to finish, but the ones I did are absolute masterpieces. So, this is the first ever romance anime tier list ranked by someone who doesn't like this genre. If you are wondering why there aren't more romance anime on this list, it's because I haven't watched them, and let's start with Rent a Girlfriend. Rent a Girlfriend is about a guy who decides to download an app where he can rent girlfriends. So he rents a girlfriend, then he rents a different one, and now you have this problem where even though he is like just a customer, he starts actually a relationship with these different girls, and it starts to get complicated. There are a lot of good jokes and comedy in the anime, and the cool thing is that this is based on real life. There is actually a website where you can rent a girlfriend. This is not just purely abstract, it actually exists. And the anime has good jokes and comedy, and that's probably why I watched it. I didn't watch everything. I think like I left it half through because it got boring, mainly because it's more romance and I don't like romance. But if I should say how good or bad I enjoyed Rent a Girlfriend as someone who doesn't like romance anime, I think this is a very decent A tier. And so people are not confused, S tier, obvious best of the best, highly, like extremely good, A tier, B tier, above average, C tier is average, and D tier is below average. And Rent a Girlfriend is like, it gives you the premise, it doesn't lie to you, it tells you this anime is about renting a girlfriend, and that's what it delivers. And you have a lot of jokes and, well, interesting situations on the side of that. So I don't know why this shouldn't be an A tier. A really good anime, and I enjoyed it even though I got bored like halfway through and left it. Next we have the Quintessential Quintuplets. And you have a guy who decides that he needs more money, so he finds a job where he can, educate or be a tutor for a girl. He meets these 5 girls in the school, not knowing that they kind of know each other, and he goes with one of them to their house, and then he realizes that all of them live together and he's a tutor not just for one of them but for all 5 of them. So he gives them a test, and then he kind of finds out that all of them are, well, not smart, that's why they have a tutor, and they are rich while he is poor. The anime, yes, you have 5 girls, 1 guy, and I didn't finish it, so I don't know if it ended with one girl being with him or if all 5 girls decided to date him. There are 2 seasons of this, and it is good, but I just feel like it could be done better. You have few jokes, but it just doesn't feel that interesting. I would say it's an average anime, like even the romance is not that significant, but it's not terrible. I enjoyed it. Even though I don't like romance anime, I wouldn't say it's D tier, but it's missing a lot, that's what I will say. Next we move to the 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. Yes, there is 5 times said the word really. And this is an awesome anime. You have like the beginning where you realize that this guy is cursed, or not really cursed, a god of that world accidentally gets drunk, and instead of giving him one girl friend like his love of life, he gives him 100. And if one of them dies, he also dies. So when he realized this, where God tells him that he's so sorry that he did this, he starts falling in love with a lot of girls. And you have like different girls that decide, you know what, I want to start a relationship with him, I really love him, but you see that he's surrounded by a lot of girls, and like currently I think 6 of them in season 1, and there will be 100 in total. So far I watched the whole thing and I didn't feel like it was boring. There was a lot of comedy, and yeah, the romance was there also, but I think the main reason why I enjoyed it so much is that there was, in every single episode, there were a lot of funny moments and great comedy. And the romance is also like visible there, but I didn't feel bored. And it's a romance anime, and I would say I strongly dislike romance anime. And I really enjoyed it, and if season 2 will come out, I will watch the entire thing. So I will probably not D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier. I'm putting this into S tier. It was like I didn't feel bored and I didn't feel the need to skip ahead or leave. I watched the whole thing and I enjoyed it. And that's something that nearly never happens with me watching, in general, anime shows. But this was a romance and I don't like romance in general, and I watched the whole thing and I enjoyed it. So there is something about 100 girlfriends who really love you. This show just, there's something. I think probably the main idea is that like 60% of the anime is comedy and 40% is romance. So the romance is not the main aspect, even though it's a big part of it. But it's funny, and comedy is very subjective. And for me, I found this really funny. So that's why I'm putting it into S tier. Next we have Kaguya-sama Love is War. And the point of this anime, which is very abstract, is that the first person in a couple who decides to say that they love him will be the one who will suffer in marriage. But and it's not a fantasy anime. It's like, meant to be kind of, I know it's meant like a joke, but I cannot believe that it would be done. Because it's even more likely that, scientists will find out that dragons lived with dinosaurs many years ago. And the point is because of this graph, marriage logic map. We have Don and Laura. Don is the husband, Laura is the wife. If Don is wrong about something and Laura is right, the result is that Laura is right. That makes sense. If Don is right about something and Laura is right also about something, then Laura's right. If Don is right about something and Laura is wrong, then Laura is right. And if Don is wrong and Laura is wrong, then Don is wrong. And I know that every single husband watching this video is smiling right now or laughing because of how true this is, unless you are watching this with your wife and you are trying your best not to smile or laugh, because if you do, you will be without the dinner today. But the point is that even if, like, in real life, even if, like, the wife would be the one in this anime who, like, confesses her love, in the end, the wife will rule in the house. And yes, I know it's meant like a joke, but it's just so unreal. And also, like, to be honest, a lot of people watch this because of the comedy aspect. Yes, you have romance, but people just need to have the comedy in it, and they love it. And the problem is that I didn't find the comedy funny, so I think, like, after 3 or 4 episodes, I just left it. So, I'm not saying it's terrible, and it is in the top, I believe, if I looked on a lot of, like, lists of, like, best romance anime when making this video, Kaguya-sama Love is War is in the top 10 best romance anime of all time, which is very interesting. So I think you need to have the correct, you could say, you need to enjoy the comedy that they have there, otherwise you won't enjoy it the same way I did. And I think that I enjoyed more Quintessential Quintuplets than Kaguya-sama Love is War, but it's because I just didn't find it funny, and because, well, the marriage logic map exists. Well, let's move on. Love After World Domination. This anime is about, I don't know why I remember his name, but Fudo, and I don't remember the other girl. But it's basically where you have Fudo, he's a good guy, he's the leader of all the heroes, something like Power Rangers, kind of, but not really. And then you have a girl which is a part of a villain, like, association, and they fall in love secretly in the first few episodes. And then you have, like, a lot of these scenes where they are fighting against each other, and when no one is looking, they just, well, I don't know, they just relax, they have a picnic, and then one of the good guys appears and they start fighting. So it is hilarious, and I don't understand why people don't even know about this anime that much. Like, I personally watched the whole thing. I think there are 2 seasons, probably. I think I watched the entire thing. I don't know if there are 2 seasons or 1 season, but I watched the whole thing, and it was magnificent. I enjoyed it so much, the comedy was perfect, and I will put it into the S tier. What I'm surprised is that a lot of people don't know about this anime. And yes, you have, it's a lot of romance, and the word that could describe this anime the best is the word wholesome. And yes, finally I can tell my teacher that I used the word wholesome in an actual sentence. So it just makes you feel good watching it. You have the comedy there, but you also see, like, the 2 guys who love each other. Something like Romeo and Juliet, where they are against, like, the two tribes are against each other, but they fall in love, but it doesn't end tragically. It is a really, really good anime. I'm surprised how much I watched the whole thing, and I enjoyed it so much. Like, if I compare it to some of my favorite anime, I don't know, like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and many other, I would say that if I should compare it, all of these shows that I mentioned are S tier for me, but Love After World Domination is A tier, which is so surprising. Like, I don't like romance, yet I found this so entertaining and enjoyable to watch. So I highly, probably, I don't know if this is the best on the entire tier list, but highly recommend it, really enjoyable. And I have nothing to say. Great comedy, makes you feel good, and there's a lot of funny things that you could, in every single episode, I was so, not really laughing, but when I saw a joke there, it just hit correctly, perfect. Maybe you don't have the correct humor or comedy to appreciate this, but I absolutely love it. The same way you might feel that this is a C tier, like I think Kaguya-sama Love is War, because I didn't enjoy the comedy there, but maybe you will enjoy it as much as I do, and yeah, I'm surprised why this is S tier for me, even though I hate, or not really hate, but I strongly dislike romance anime. Well, let's move on. We have Fruits Basket, and I watched 3 or 4 episodes and then I left it, and it's about the girl, and then you have 3 guys, which, if a certain condition is met, I don't want to give spoilers for those who want to watch it, if a certain condition is met, those guys turn into animals. It's interesting, it's unique, but it just didn't make me interested in it. There was something big missing that would make me enjoy it. Yes, you have also comedy there, aspects, but it just didn't. I don't know, it's probably because I don't like romance, but yeah, I didn't find it that interesting. So if I will put it into average C tier. I will put it probably above Kaguya-sama Love is War. I think Quintessential Quintuplets was more enjoyable. I watched 5-6 episodes, and here are just 3. So yeah, I will put it between the Quintessential Quintuplets, but above Kaguya-sama Love is War. Next, we move to my love story with Yamada-kun at level 999. And it's about a girl who buys video games and spends a lot of money because her boyfriend loves playing video games, but then he ditches her, leaving her with the games. So she gets angry and plays the games, and she finds a guy, and she doesn't know it, but he is probably the best player in the entire game, but his personality is quiet and not really, socialized. So she starts a relationship with him. It's interesting. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it's very interesting. I think if you like playing video games, you will enjoy this anime. If you find, for me, I will put it right now into A tier. I really enjoyed it. Didn't finish it because I got bored, but I really enjoyed it because mainly of the video games, I like playing video games. If you don't like video games, then probably it will be B tier for you, and if you hate video games, then either C tier or D tier. But I like video games really much, so there's this aspect, 20% of the anime is about video games, or they meet in the video games and talk about video game in general. Not a specific video game, but I enjoyed it. I will put it into A tier, but it depends. If you hate video games, D tier. If you find, video games okay, then C tier. If you kind of like, yeah, sure, video games, okay, B tier. But if you like strongly video games, then A tier. This is the only video game related romance anime out there. Next, we have Tsuredure. I don't know how to pronounce it. We have Tsuredure Children, probably. I watched the first episode and quit it because I just didn't feel interested, but I'm not putting it into the D tier. In the first episode, you see a couple kiss. Even this simple thing of seeing two people in an anime kiss is so extremely rare that I just must put it into the C tier, because they made something that nearly no anime does at all in the entire season or series. You know what, I will put it above Kaguya-sama Love is War. Next we have Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, and the person who wrote the name of this anime should get the Nobel Prize, because this anime can be summarized in one sentence. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. It's all about Shikimori. And I didn't watch it all, but I think I will put it into A tier, probably above, probably below Render Girlfriend. It was decent, or, you know what, I said it was decent, so I'll put it into B tier. We have Your Name. As a movie, I watched the first 15 minutes and then I left it because I didn't find it entertaining. Even though I saw a lot of clips of how fascinating the animation is and beautiful, I didn't get to the part. The only thing that I remember is the girl realizing while half sleeping that she has a flat chest. That's like the whole thing I remember from this anime. And the animation is really interesting, but I didn't get to the point. It just bored me and I left it. So I didn't really have much to say. It's probably, it's also like the same way Kaguya-sama Love is War. It's also considered to be one of the best romance anime. I don't know if all time, but definitely of the past 10 years. But I didn't enjoy it that much. I just left it. But I still would prefer watching it rather than Kaguya-sama Love is War. I have nothing against this anime, but I don't like romance, and I didn't find it funny. Probably above Tsuredure Children, and probably even above Fruit Basket, above Quintessential Quintuplets. You know what, yes, I will put it at the top of the C tier. Or B tier? No, above C tier. Next we have Horimiya. And Horimiya, compared to all the other anime, achieved one thing. Right from the beginning, you see the relationship of the two people, which is very rare for romance anime for some unknown reason. And if you didn't watch the first episode, I don't want to give you spoilers, so skip ahead, but what really interested me was the first, the kid goes back and Horimiya is, Hori is like, oh, thank you so much, and then she realizes that the guy is standing there. Oh, wait, who are you? I'm your classmate. Wait, what? And then he says, oh yeah, I'm Horimiya, or I don't know how he's called, and she's like, oh my god. And that clip alone hooked me to watch the entire thing. Season 1, Season 2. I think Season 2 just wasn't that interesting as Season 1, but it made me interested to watch the whole thing. And I think that Horimiya is S tier. I enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it, even though I think Season 2 wasn't that interesting as Season 1. But I will put it into S tier. Yeah, below these two, because I didn't enjoy it that much, but it's a really good romance anime. And it's also really popular. I enjoyed it a lot. And I have nothing else to say. Really strong, decent anime, probably the best. If you want purely romance and the relationship, then Horimiya is the best from all the anime I have here. Now we move to Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I hate this anime. I watched it, I was like, you know what, this is romance anime, I will give it a try, I want to see a romance. This anime is about the toxic relationship between the girl and the guy, where the girl is bullying the guy. So yeah, if you want to watch it because of the romance and because of the relationship, that it will be so good and stuff like that, you won't enjoy it. I watched the whole thing. Surprisingly, on the anime that are in the S tier, I watched the whole thing. So I would put it normally here, but I hated it. After I finished it, I hated it. I didn't watch even Season 2. I just watched the Season 1. And what's interesting is that this is a PG-13 movie. And in the last episode, or this 11th or 12th episode, you have a image of a naked woman as a painting. I don't understand how this could be PG-13. Maybe it's not, I don't remember it correctly that this is PG-13, maybe it's higher rating, but from what I know, it's PG-13. And in the last episode, or the 11th episode, you have a naked woman on a painting, and it's kind of 1/3 of that episode is all about the painting, and I don't understand how this could be a PG-13 movie. So if you want something different than romance and you don't care that it's about bullying the girl bullying the guy, and it's about the toxic relationship, that you will probably enjoy it. But most people don't want that. Most people want a romance anime to see the good relationship between the guy and the girl. Highly don't recommend it. I hate watching that anime. Next we move to More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. This anime is about an assignment that teenagers get at high school, that they need to pretend to be married, and husband and wife. And yes, they are pretending in the beginning, the main couple, but then they kind of, even though it's not about them being lovers, but they kind of, have something more going on than, exactly how it says the title, More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. Yeah, they are more than just pretending to be a married couple. They have kind of a relationship, and I enjoyed it. They live together, and it shows yeah, I don't have like anything bad to say about it. I watched the whole thing, and I don't feel like vomiting in Miss Nagatoro. I think this is a very good show. I will put it above Horimiya. I enjoyed it more. This is good. Yeah, I will put it here, S tier. It was so like I didn't feel bored. I felt it was funny. Yes, then you have a bit intimate parts, but nothing too crazy, and you see the relationship. And compared to Horimiya, you also see the relationship from the very beginning, but for some reason people talk only about Horimiya and not at all about my more than a married couple but not lovers. I think it's better, not better, no. I'm saying I enjoyed it as someone who doesn't like romance anime more than Horimiya. I did enjoy it more. And I don't have much to say, highly recommend it. And it's also like the animation itself is very vibrant, probably the best coloring in animation from all the anime here. Maybe Your Name is better, but really good animation. Next we move to Bloom Into You. I watched the first episode and I'm not the target audience. It's about two girls who fall in love, probably, or start a relationship together. Not really what I would watch, but I would still prefer it above Miss Nagatoro. I will put it at the bottom of the C tier, still better than Miss Nagatoro. I just hate that show. And last we have My Dress Up Darling, and there's a good reason why I put this in the end. I watched the whole thing, and I think it's really good. I would put it probably here, in the A tier, but I asked my community, what do you think the best romance anime is? And 52% of people said that it was My Dress Up Darling. I thought that they would say Horimiya, but Horimiya is just 25%. So because I will listen to the community and I will put it into S tier. I will put it though below everything. I don't know, I think it's a really good anime, but I watch the whole thing, but I don't think it's that incredible. I think it's overhyped. But I will listen to the community, it's above. I would put it S tier, but the community said that it's S tier. So this is it, and I'm surprised by how many shows are in the S tier compared to the fact that I strongly dislike romance anime. This is a lot of comedy and romance more on the side, probably. This is also comedy and romance on the side. This is, I don't know, there's something special about More Than a Married Couple. Horimiya, I guess it's good. For the first episode hooked to me so much that I watched the entire thing. And My Dress Up Darling, the community decided that it's the best. I would put it, I think I will put it into S tier anyway, because these are the only shows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that I watched from the very beginning to the end, and I enjoyed them. I watched this, the sixth anime I watched was Miss Nagatoro, but I hated that anime. This is the only anime I also watched that's not in the S tier from the very beginning to the end, but I just hated it so much. Highly don't recommend if you want romance. So, even though I don't like romance anime, I'm surprised by how many shows are ranked so highly. If you're like me and you don't like romance genre, I recommend giving one of these highly rated anime a try. And if you love romance anime but haven't seen the S or A tier shows, then I don't know what will happen. Maybe your heart will blow out, because if someone like me who doesn't like romance anime enjoyed these shows so much, then if someone who loves romance anime watches them, something dangerous could happen, so just be cautious. If you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you to watch this video next. Thanks for watching and stay tuned, my friends.